Hey everyone, I'm Asha. Welcome to another edition of the Girl Talk HQ weekly wrap-up. So today's video is called, Are You the Chosen 5%? Now, if some of you out there are thinking, oh great, she's going to be talking about wealth and economics, no, you'd be wrong. So if that's what you were hoping, you can click away now. But if it wasn't, and if you're interested in body image, you may want to stick around because that's what this video is about. So where does the figure 5% come from? Well, according to a study by the Renfrew Center Foundation for Eating Disorders, the body type portrayed as ideal in advertising is actually only possessed by 5% of American females. And I'm pretty sure if you look on a global scale, the number isn't that much higher. We have a problem. Advertising, the diet industry, the media, fashion, they're definitely all perpetuating this narrow ideal of beauty for women. And I definitely think it affects men as well. Men have major body image issues just as much as women, and it affects all of us. So it's not just a female issue. Although I definitely focus on women's issues, this is something that affects everyone who has a body. When I read this figure recently, I was a little bit shocked. I mean, I kind of had an inkling that things were bad when it came to advertising and fashion. I mean, it's pretty easy to see if you look at most advertising, commercials, magazines. If you look at the type of bodies that are portrayed, they're kind of homogenous. They're usually white, they're usually very thin, close to a size 0. They're usually tall, obviously. I mean, models are known for being tall. They're usually very beautiful, and they're usually very airbrushed and photoshopped. So there's kind of a clue as to why this is damaging, because I feel a lot of, especially the advertising industry, are perpetuating this image that is unrealistic and almost doesn't exist in some cases. Because of this statistic, I wanted to make a video about the rest of us 95%ers and talk about how there are average everyday people and organizations out there doing some really cool things to kind of challenge the status quo. And that's what it's all about. Changing attitudes, presenting a different point of view, putting something out there that is a little offensive because it starts conversations, it starts arguments, it starts people thinking, why is this offending me? Because I'm so used to this norm over here, all of a sudden I'm seeing something different. Why is that? A really popular hashtag that's been going around on Instagram and Twitter is lose hate, not weight. I really, really love this. I think it's so powerful in a number of different ways. The lady who created this, her name's Virgie Tova. She's an author and an activist, and she speaks a lot about body image, plus size women, and championing the cause of women who aren't a size 0, basically. And she was the one who created it because she wanted people to know that no matter what size you are, you may feel unhealthy, you may want to lose weight or gain weight, whatever it is. It doesn't mean you should hate yourself while doing it. And I think that's really important. What I saw when looking at this hashtag was that it's not even just a body image or weight issue. We need to lose hate generally. There's a lot of hate on social media. There's a lot of negativity online. And I think the hashtag lose hate, not weight, let's shed the weight of hatred instead and equip ourselves with things that are positive, inspiring, and empowering to each other. There is a lot of negativity surrounding this hashtag, however, because there are people saying, you know, this woman Virgie is promoting obesity and she's promoting people to put on weight and be unhealthy and just get fat and not care about the health implications. I call bullshit on that because that's not what this hashtag is all about. The majority of women out there are not in danger of being overconfident when it comes to their bodies. Let's be honest. If anything, we kind of swing the other direction and hate on ourselves way too much. Now, if we're on a weight loss journey, if we're trying to reach optimum health, that doesn't mean we need to hate ourselves in the process, right? And I think that's the message she's trying to get across. I think for people to accuse Virgie and anyone else using this hashtag of promoting obesity, I think that's kind of a cop-out. I mean, you can't hate yourself to optimum health, because even if you get to your ideal weight or your ideal goal, you're not just going to automatically lose that hate for yourself. I think it starts with loving yourself, accepting your body for the way it is, and taking the necessary steps to become healthy and to become fit and to become the best person you can, minus the hate. Who would be against that? If you're familiar with the blogger Jess Baker, you will know that she creates these really, really cool photography projects where she challenges the status quo of body image that's out there in society. She famously recreated an Abercrombie and Fitch campaign, and she called it Attractive and Fat. And all her photography projects basically show the flip side to what we see in advertising, and she wants to get people talking about it in a positive way and change our attitude. She recently gave a TED Talk about this whole issue, about all her photography projects, which you can see in the link below. Now, in light of this whole 5% issue, she created a photo shoot with her photographer Leora Kay, and it's called Expose: Shedding Light on Collective Beauty. What it aims to do is basically say, screw you, fashion and advertising, for forcing us to see only 5% of bodies that exist out there. We're going to show you the bodies that actually exist in the real world. So they gathered 96 women of all ages, races, shapes and sizes, and they photographed them in their underwear. They posted all the photos on her blog, The Militant Baker, and when you check out these photos, I guarantee the majority of you are probably going to be a little bit offended, because we're not used to seeing these types of bodies out there on billboards and in magazines and online and in the fashion industry. That's why I think it's so cool, because she's challenging us and she wants us to question, why are we offended by normal bodies that actually exist? The problem that I personally have with the fashion industry and attitudes that I hear from people that work within fashion is they brush off all the airbrushing, excessive photoshopping, and this narrow ideal that they're trying to portray. And they're saying, oh, fashion industry is just portraying a fantasy and it's aspirational. I'm sorry, but once again, I'm going to call bullshit on that, because what's so aspirational about a model that's so ridiculously photoshopped that even she doesn't recognize herself? Why do I want to aspire to be like that? And in terms of being a fantasy, I understand the concept. I mean, we watch movies as an escapism, but in that escapism, I want to see myself and I want to believe that I could be part of that world as I am. But in the fashion world, there's none of that. I can never picture myself as I am in any of those campaigns. In fact, when I've looked at photos of myself, I critique myself compared to what I'm used to seeing in magazines, and I hate that. So the whole aspirational fantasy excuse that people in the fashion industry use, I'm sorry, it's not gonna cut it, because we don't want to aspire to be like that. The only thing we can aspire to be is the best version of ourselves. And I really take issue with industries telling me how I should look, telling me what I should value, telling me that my appearance isn't good enough. I mean, the diet industry, the fashion industry, advertising, media, and society and culture around us, they teach us to loathe ourselves and allow us to think happiness is only going to be reached when we change our appearance and spend a lot of money doing that. I don't think that's the right way to go. I think it starts with valuing who we are inside, knowing our identity separately from all those industries and separate from all the messages that are out there, and then choosing the best things in life that we feel will equip us to be our best selves. Now, if you are part of that 5%, and I have a good feeling the majority of that 5% that appears on billboards and magazines are closer to size 0. If you are naturally that size, there is nothing wrong with that. Power to you, and you should celebrate that. This is not a sizeism video at all. I'm not bagging on people's sizes. I'm just saying that there needs to be a wider scope of what is celebrated, what is included, what is seen as beautiful and successful. For the rest of us 95%, we can do something about this. Sure, we're bombarded by so many messages everywhere, but we need to take a stand. We need to raise our voices, use our platforms, whether it be a blog, a vlog, social media, whatever it is, talking to people in your community. Make sure you take a stand and share your thoughts and ideas. Challenge people's perceptions. When you hear conversations in your own social circle about body image that you don't agree with, ask them why they think that way. Challenge people's ideas of what is seen as normal, because I guarantee you, there are so many people out there who don't know how to challenge the norm. They don't even know that they've been brainwashed to think the way these industries are teaching us. So raise your voice. In the meantime, if you want to find a bunch of resources and articles talking about people who are challenging the status quo like Jess Baker and Virgie Tova, go to my blog, girltalkhq.com, because there's so many women and men who are doing really great things to promote positive body image. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, Girl Talk HQ, because as you know, if you've already subscribed or watched any of my videos, each week I talk about a different topic that's either trending or that I feel is important to raise my voice about. And of course, my final message to you to sign off is lose hate, not weight. I'll see you next time.